On papers, we'll have also several papers, and first paper is Nyandarua County Annual Report and Financial Statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. We have Olkalau Municipality Annual Report and Financial Statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. We'll also have Nyandarua County Revenue Fund Annual Report and Financial Statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. On 4th, we'll have Mailu Inya Municipality Annual Report and Financial Statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. We'll still have Engineer Municipality Annual Report and Financial Statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. We'll also have Nyandarua County Bursary Annual Report and Financial Statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. 7th, we'll have Nyandarua County Emergency Fund Annual Report and Financial Statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. All those, the 7th, will be tabled by Honorable Elijah Mwaginyaga, the Majority Leader. The 8th paper is report of the Committee on Public Service, Administration and Devolution on the nominees for appointment to the selection panel for the recruitment of the County Public Service Board by Honorable Edinard Wabogo Kingori, Chairperson's Committee on Public Service, Administration and Devolution. 9th is report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation, Environment, Tourism and Natural Resources and Climate Change on the Nyandarua County Climate Change Fund financing locally led climate actions, that's FLOCA, half-year report and financial statements for the period ended December 1st, 2025 by Honorable Isaac Kamau by Chairperson's Committee on Water. 10th is report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation, Environment, Tourism, Natural Resources and Climate Change onto the report of the, sorry, Honorable Speaker. On the report of the Committee on Water and Environmental, Climate Change and Natural Resources on budget implementation for the financial year 2023-2024 by Honorable Isaac Kamau by. Honorable Speaker, on notices of motions, we will have a notice of motion on the report of the Committee on Public Service, Administration and Devolution on the nominees for appointment to the selection panel for the recruitment of the County Public Service Board by Honorable Edinard Wabogo Kingori. Second, we'll have a notice of motion on report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation, Environment, Tourism, Natural Resources and Climate Change on Nyandarua County Climate Change Fund financing locally led climate actions, that's FLOCA, half-year report and financial statements for the period ended December 1st, 2024 by Honorable Isaac Kamau. And that one is report of the Committee on Water, Sanitation, Environment, Natural Resources on climate change and natural resources on the budget implementation for the financial year 2023-2024. Same by Honorable Isaac Kamau. Honorable Speaker, on statements, we will have a response to a statement sought by Honorable Catherine Nyawira Madenge on the status of county land database on private and public parcels of lands by Honorable John Dugashino. Honorable Speaker, on motions and bills, we will have a motion on the report on the response to the statement sought by Honorable Catherine Nyawira Madenge on the status of the quality and safety of potatoes in Nyandarua County by Honorable Paul Kerukaboro, Chairperson's Committee on Agriculture. Honorable Speaker, Tomorrow, that is Wednesday, 12th November 2025, 9:30 a.m., we'll have a paper on Mailoinya Municipality Quarterly Report and Financial Statements for the period ended September 30th, 2025 by Honorable Elijah Mwangi Nyaga. We'll also have a report of the Committee on Finance and Economic Planning and ICT on the Nyandarua County Finance Bill 2025 by Honorable Sakari Mwangi Jero, Chairperson's Committee on Finance. On statements, we'll have a response to the statement sought by Honorable Samuel Limwika-Yani on the status of pending bills in the county and spending under the pending bills vote by Honorable Sakari Mwangi Jero, Chairperson's Committee on Finance. On motions and bills, we'll have a motion on the report of the Committee on Public Service, Administration and Devolution on the nominees for the 4 appointments of selection panel for the recruitment of County Public Service Board by Honorable Ednan Wabogo Kingori. Honorable Speaker, tomorrow, that is Wednesday, 12th November 2025 at 2:30 p.m., we'll still have a petition on diversion of funds meant for young spikers volleyball team by you, Honorable Speaker. On papers, we'll have a report of the Committee on Finance, Economic Planning, ICT and Revenue on the Nyandarua County Revenue Fund annual report and financial statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2025 by Honorable Sakari Mwangi Jero. Second one is report of the Committee on Health Services on the Engineer County Level 4 Hospital annual report and financial statements for the year ended 30th June 2024 by Honorable Paul Geshe Wabaida, Chairperson's Health Services Committee. On notices of motions, we'll have a notice of motion on the report of the Committee on Health Services on the Engineer County Level 4 Hospital, same by Honorable Paul Geshe Wabaide. On statements, Honorable Speaker, will have a response to the statement sought by Honorable Samuel Limwika-Yani on the status payment of goods and services for the financial year 2024-2025 by Honorable Sakari Mwangi Jero. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, on motions and bills, we'll have bill, that is the Nyandarua County Finance Bill 2025 for second reading by Honorable Sakari Mwangi Jero, Chairperson's Committee on Finance, Economic Planning, ICT and Revenue. Honorable Speaker, this notice paper is prepared and published pursuant to Standing Orders 40 and 41 and dated 11th day of November 2025 by Mukili Mushiri, Clerk of Nyandarua County Assembly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Minority Whip. Clerk, next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have several papers to be laid by Honorable Elijah Mwangi Nyaga, Leader of Majority Party.
Thank you, Honorable Ibra.
Honorable Speaker, as we have already outlined in the papers, we are tabling all the 11th listed papers as indicated, and I do table.
Thank you, Honorable Minority. I will handle paper by paper. And I'll start with the first paper, which is the County Government Budget Implementation Review Report, the first 9 months of financial year 2024-2025, and the annual county government budget implementation review report for financial year 2024-2025. The report has been duly tabled, and I refer the report to all sectoral committees for preparation of departmental budgetary implementation reports, and to the Committee on Budget and Appropriations for consideration. Maybe chairperson for budget. Anybody holding his brief? Yes, Honorable Mpogo, how many days do you need to report back to the House?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. It can only be 60 days because we are going to rely on the reports that are going to emanate from the sectoral committees.
Thank you, Honorable Mpogo. Thank you. Clerk, ensure that the same is within our business tracker. Then B, we have the Nyandarua County Budget Review and Outlook Paper, that is CBROP 2025. The report has been duly tabled. I refer the report to the Committee on Budget and Appropriations. So once again, Chair, how many days do you need, Honorable Mpogo?
For that one, 30 days is okay.
Thank you. Clerk, ensure it's on our business tracker within 30 days. Then C, we have Nyandarua County Receiver of Revenue Statement for financial year ended 30th June 2025. The report has been duly tabled. I refer the report to the Committee on Finance, Economic Planning, ICT, and Revenue. Chairperson. Anybody holding brief for that, Chair? Anybody in the Committee of Finance? Yes, Honorable Kagwe. How many days do you need to report back to the House?
Mr. Speaker, considering the workload, 60 days is enough.
Thank you. Our clerk ensure the same is in our business tracker within 60 days. Then you have D, JM Kariuki Memorial County Referral Hospital Level 4 Hospital, quarterly report and financial statement for the period ended September 30th, 2025. The report has been duly tabled. I refer the report to the Committee on Health Services. So, Chairperson, how many days do you need to report back to the House? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, considering that we have other reports, 60 days will serve the committee.
Thank you. Our clerk ensure within 60 days the said report is brought back to the House. Then we have Olkarau Municipality Quarterly Report and Financial Statements for the period ended September 30th, 2025. The report has been duly tabled. I refer the report to the Committee on Lands, Physical Planning and Urban Development. So, Chairperson, Honorable Ashino, how many days do you need to report back to the House?
60 days.
Thank you. Clerk ensure the said is brought back to the House within 60 days. Nyandarua County Bursary, that is F, Nyandarua County Bursary Fund Quarterly Report and Financial Statements for the period ended September 30th, 2025. The report is duly tabled. I refer the report to the Committee on Education, Vocational Training, Culture, Gender, and Social Protection. So, Chairperson, that is Honorable Gadongo. So, who is holding brief for Honorable Gadongo? Yes, Honorable Whip, how many days do you need to report back to the House?
Mr. Speaker, 60 days.
Thank you. Clerk ensure the Chair report back to the House within 60 days. Then you have G, Nyandarua County Emergency Fund Quarterly Report and Financial Statements for the period ended September 30th, 2025. The report is duly tabled. I refer the report to the Committee on Special Funds Committee. So, Chairperson, Honorable Denji, how many days do you need to report back to the House?
Mr. Speaker, we require 60 days.
Thank you, Honorable Denji. Clerk ensure is on our business tracker that within 60 days, the Chair will report back to the House. We have Nyandarua County Executive, State and Public Officer Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme, Fund Quarterly Report and Financial Statement for the period ended September 30th, 2025. The report is duly tabled. I refer the report to the Committee on Special Funds Committee. Chairperson, how many days do you need to report back to the House?
We require the same day, Mr. Speaker, sir, for 60 days.
Okay, 60 days. Clerk ensure the same is within our business tracker. Then we have Nyandarua County Government Quarterly Report and Financial Statements for the period ended September 30th, 2025. The report is duly tabled. I refer the report to all sectoral committees for the committee report on the budgetary implementation report. Then we have J, we have Nyandarua County Revenue Fund quarterly report and financial statement for the period ended September 30th, 2025. The report has been duly tabled. Again, I refer the report to the Committee on Finance, Economic Planning, ICT and Revenue. So Chairperson, once again, Honorable Kagwe, how many days do you need to report back to the House? Thank you. Clerk, ensure the same is within our business tracker, that within 60 days, the Chair will report back to the House. Then we have K, Nyandarua County Receiver of Revenue Quarterly Report and Financial Statement for the period ended September 30th, 2025. The report is duly tabled, and I refer the report to the Committee on Finance, Economic Planning, ICT and Revenue. So once again, Chairperson, how many days do you need to report back to the House?
Mr. Speaker, 60 working days.
60 working days, that means 3 months. Clerk, ensure that the Chair is specific, 60 working days, that excludes the weekend. And so, ensure the said is within the House, within the 60 working days as stated. So, Clerk, next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, statements. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have a statement response to be given by Honorable Simon Mogomboro, Chairperson, Committee on Public Works, Roads, Energy and Transport.
Very well. Honorable Simon Mogomboro, Chairperson, Committee on Public Works, Roads, Energy and Transport. And maybe before Honorable Mbogo, you take the podium, I wish to just take your seat, Honorable Mbogo. I have a special request at this statement level. We have Honorable Jane Gadera, who wanted to, you're ready to proceed? Wanted to give her maiden speech, so you can proceed.
I like to give my median speech, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Maybe you can adjust your mic so that you are audible. Just be near your mic.
Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to thank the Almighty God for granting me the grace and the privilege to stand before this honorable House today. It's a deeply humbling moment, a milestone in my life and a significant one for the great party that I represent, that is the UDA. I am sincerely honored to serve the people of Nyandarua as a specially elected member of County Assembly under the gender top-up category as enshrined in the Article 27 of the Constitution of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand here not only as an individual, but as a product of a supportive and unwavering community, my family, my friends, and my mentors. Their belief in me, especially at these most critical stages of this journey, has nothing short of a blessing. To them, I owe them a debt of gratitude, and I dedicate this moment to making them proud through dedication and honest and impactful service. I also wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation to my fellow members of Nyandarua County Assembly and to the distinguished staff of this institution. The warmth and the solidarity in which I have received since my nomination have affirmed my sense of belonging in this House. I am especially grateful to the trust you have placed in me through nomination to serve in diverse committees, and particularly as a Vice Chair of Committee of Health. I do not take this responsibility lightly. Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to make my maiden speech. I'm fully aware of the legacy I'm standing into. The late Honorable Wahito Njoroge, whom many in this House held in high esteem, blazed a trail of championing the rights and inclusion of women in the politics of Nyandarua. I honor her memory, her courage, and her commitment. While the shoes she left behind are large, I pledge to walk forward with a purpose and dedication, striving to continue to build upon the good work she began. Mr. Speaker, sir, our county, like many of our nations, still faces many challenges, particularly when it comes to the inclusion and empowerment of women. I stand committed to being a voice for the women and the girls of Nyandarua. My legislative priorities will focus on 3 core areas. First is women empowerment. by creating and supporting initiatives that open doors for women in business, leadership, education, and social development. Second is maternal health. I will advocate for quality, accessible, and dignified maternal care across all the wards. And third, reproductive health and menstrual hygiene. I will promote access to sanitary products by eliminating stigma and ensuring every girl in this county can go to school and live in dignity. These are issues not merely for women issues, they are also for development issues. When we empower women, we uplift our entire communities, and when women thrive, her family, her village, and ultimately her county thrives. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm deeply aware that being nominated in this house is a call to serve. I do not take it for granted. I see it as a sacred trust for the people, and I'm determined to honor the trust through action, humility, and spirit of collaboration. To my fellow members in this assembly, I look forward to working with you across all parties, backgrounds, and ideologies in building a better, more inclusive Nyandarua. And let's be a house that listens to the unheard, protects the vulnerable, and works with diligently for the good of all. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, sir, let me affirm my commitment to this honorable house and to the people of Nyandarua. I come here to learn, to serve, to lead where called. May we all be guided by wisdom, grace, and unshakable commitment to justice and progress. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. God bless you. God bless this assembly, and God bless the people of Nyandarua. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Gadira. We can applaud, sir. Thank you for that great speech. We wish you the very best. So, Honorable Mboko, we can now proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and in line with the statement, because we are on statements, welcome to the Assembly, and most particularly to the Committee of Roads, which I chair. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I started in for the committee to seek leave for 14 days, and Mr. Speaker, before we are not sorting leave because we have not started. The magnitude of the statement is enormous. We have already requested documents from the department. We have already been served with the same, but depending on the magnitude and the way we have been complaining for insufficiency of information, we thought it wise with the committee that we are going to conduct, assisted by your office, a site visit, especially to the ward that sought the statement. So we are seeking more 7 days, anywhere we have gone for the site visit and concluded the already started statement. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are seeking for 7 days. We are going to table the statement next week, having gone for the last role of the site visit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Mbogo. Do we have the seeker of that statement in the House? Honorable Samuel Rimui Kayeni. Yes, Honorable Kasana, you appear to have something to say.
No, I was saying he is not present.
Very well. So, clerk, the 15 days as requested by Honorable Mbogo are granted. So ensure the same is within our business. Sorry? No, I had 15 days, then 7 days. Honorable Mbogo, come up again.
If placed Wednesday next week, it will be okay.
Very well. So within that is a week also. So clerk, next order.
Order number 8, motions and bills. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have a motion to be moved by Honorable Peter Denjikiriga, the Chairperson, Committee on Special Funds Accounts.
Very well. Honorable Peter Denjikiriga, Chairperson, Committee on Special Funds Account, member for Rodi Ward, independently elected. Honorable Denji, you appear to be extremely smart today.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for observing that. I'm always like that. It's only that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm delighted to be here, Mr. Speaker. On a report to request for approval of Nyandarua County Emergency Fund expenditure for the period 1st June 2024 to 31st December 2024, which, Mr. Speaker, was tabled on 15th 10th 2025 at 9:30 p.m. a.m. Mr. Speaker, I want to be so very brief, and I may not be able to go direct to read the tabulations, so that other members can also concentrate and do something on the same. Mr. Speaker, this is the Special Fund Committee, which deals with mortgage, and this is part of it. Mr. Speaker, the Committee on Special Funds Accounts undertook a review of the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund for the period 1st July to 1st December 2024 to evaluate compliance with the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund regulations of 2022. Mr. Speaker, the review focused on expenditure relating to the fire tragedy, assistance, medical and burial reports, grants and subsidies, and repair the maintenance works where most payments were made within the prescribed ceilings. The committee observed the delays in disbursement, inconsistencies in compensation, and inadequate supporting documentation. The committee further noted that certain expenditures such as the renovations of a toilet and the construction of biodigester in Donyo and water-related infrastructure projects in Githioro and Olkalau did not qualify as emergency interventions. In addition, the committee expressed concerns over the CCM for finance failure to appear before it for clarification and the delayed submissions of approval and supporting documents contrary to the statutory requirements. Mr. Speaker, the committee therefore recommends strict adherence of legal timelines, enhanced accountability, and the comprehensive review of the emergency fund regulations to improve efficiency, transparency, and fairness in the management of special funds. Mr. Speaker, I want to acknowledge your chair. I wish to take this opportunity on behalf of the committee to extend our profound gratitude to you, to your office and that of the clerk for the unwavering support and assistance provided to the committee in its diligent efforts to fulfill its mandate. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to particularly commend the members of the committee and the secretariat of their extraordinary dedication, commitment, and selflessness during the preparation and compilation of this report. Their hard work and perseverance have been pivotal to ensuring that all review process was thorough, meticulous, and transparent. Finally, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is with great honor and privilege that I, on behalf of the members of the committee, present this esteemed House our comprehensive report on the approval of the County Emergency Fund. Thereafter, I have signed. Mr. Speaker, on 22nd April 2025, the County Executive Committee members, CCM for Finance, formally presented a request to the County Assembly concerning the utilization of funds from the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund. The request detailed expenditures incurred 1st July 2024 and 31st December 2024. This submission, Mr. Speaker, was made pursuant to the Section 114, bracket 1 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, which mandates the CCM for finance and the economic planning to seek approval from the County Assembly, Mr. Speaker, within 2 months of utilizing funds from emergency kit. Following the submission, the House, in accordance with the oversight mandate, referred the matter to the Special Funds Accounts Committee. Was tasked with conducting a thorough examination of the request and compiling of comprehensive reports for constellation of deliberations by the House. Mr. Speaker, we have the committee, the members of the committee. I am the chairman. We have other aides, that is James Kiro Gashoba as the vice chair. We have Waloiro Kamwana, member, Mwangi Milka Nyambula, member, Munywa Joyce Wanjiro, member, Hon Jalala Caroline Wangoi, member, Samuel Chege Gazilimo, and Hon Gashino John Thu. Mr. Speaker, we have a very strong member here by name Joyce Munywa. She's a very good contributor, and we are proud of her. Mr. Speaker, we have another member, that is Joroge Jane Catherine, who is a new member. Secretariat, we have Patricia Duta Shege.
Joroge Jane Catherine.
She is Joroge Jane Gazera.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that correction.
Order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Cartwright.
I think Honorable Denji need to confirm a member by Honorable Jarara Wangui.
Yes, you can confirm. Do you have such a member?
Thank you.
You really emphasize the strength of the members.
Thank you. She's a duly respected member. I've only done a slight mistake. Mr. Speaker, she is Hon Jarara Caroline Wango.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Special Funds Account Committee is established at the starting order number 197. Mr. Speaker, its functions and laws are there below. Mr. Speaker, we have the terms and levelings pursuant to the resolution adopted during the committee meetings. The committees have established specific terms of reference to guide its mandate and ensure the preparation of the comprehensive, transparent, and objective report. These terms of reference were as follows. 1, to conduct a thorough review of payment voucher relating to disbursement from the emergency fund, to assess the intervention request alongside the corresponding dates of payments. Mr. Speaker, then examine all support documentation justifying the expenditure incurred. 4, to apply the provisions of the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund Regulations 2022 as the basis of evaluating an effectiveness, efficiency, and propriety of the fund utilization. And 5, to comply and submit to the House their detailed report outlining the committee's findings, conclusions, and recommendations for appropriate actions. In line with the objectives, the committee undertook in mandate with diligence and impartiality the findings, analysis, and recommendations emanating from the exercise are presented in ensuring sections of these reports. Mr. Speaker, we have the introductions. Therein, we have the Public Finance Management Act, and Mr. Speaker, we have Nyandarua County Emergency Fund Regulations of 2022 that says that to operationalize the provisions of the PFF at the county level the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund, Regulation 2022, was enacted. These regulations serves as the guiding, Mr. Speaker. The frame, Mr. Speaker, we have the committee observations and findings, and I want to read them. The committee evaluated the payments made from the emergency fund against the Public Finance Management Act of number 18 of 2012 and the regulations 9 of Nyandarua County Emergency Fund regulations of 2022, which gives the county executive committee members powers to make payments from the emergency fund if satisfied that A, there is an urgent and unforeseen emergency for expenditure for which there is no legislation authority. B, Mr. Speaker, payment for the budget and cannot be delayed until a later financial year without harming the general public interest. C, payment is meant to alleviate the damage, loss, hardship, or suffering which may be caused directly by the emergency. And D, the damage caused by the emergency is on a small scale and limited to the county. After carefully examining the supporting documents, the committee observed that the fund's expenditure over the evaluation period went towards the following: 1, fire tragedy; 2, repair and maintenance; grants; 3, and subsidies; 4, medical and burial assistance. Mr. Speaker, for the fire and tragedy assistance, a total of 2,545,000 was expended to the support of 59 fire victims to aid in the reconstruction of the house following the incidents in various parts of the county, as tabulated below. Mr. Speaker, for the tabulations, it's a bit big, and members can look for themselves. Mr. Speaker, we have a report on the approval of emergency fund expenditure period that 1st December 2024 as a tabulation. On this, it was observed that the highest amount dispersed to an individual beneficiary was Kenya shillings 100, while the lowest was Kenya shillings 20,000. Further scrutiny was conducted to determine whether the payments conformed to the ceilings prescribed in the. Mr. Speaker, I'm uncomfortable of this. Prevent me of the movement that is being done. Mr. Speaker, I'm feeling uncomfortable in the House.
Why are you uncomfortable, Honorable Benji?
You see, Mr. Speaker, now the movement is keeping me not to concentrate when
Yes,
I'm reading.
yeah, but Honorable Benji, I believe it is the sergeant who is just doing her work. She has to keep on moving.
Oh, I had not realized this is the sergeant, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
proceed.
Further scrutiny was conducted to determine whether the payments conformed to the ceilings prescribed in the schedule of the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund Regulations 2022. Specifically, those applicable in case of the fire outbreaks, the applicable ceilings for county contribution or compensation are as outlined below. Mr. Speaker, there is a category there for the tabulation of the same. On this, the committee observed that all payments reviewed were made within the ceilings prescribed by the regulations, reflecting adherence to the establishment financial limits. 2, while some payments were dispersed in timely manner, thereby enabling the emergency fund to effectively fulfill its mandate to providing prompt relief to the affected individuals. Others experienced notable delays. For instance, victims of the fire incidents in Central Ward submitted their claims on 8th March 2024, but it did not receive compensation until 4th July 2024, thereby defeating the intent of providing swift assistance. Mr. Speaker, the honorable member from the Central Ward should note that his members, the victims, were not given the proper attention. This was lack of fairness and consistency in the distribution of funds. Although the compensation amounts complied with the prescribed ceilings, disparities were evident. Some victims who suffered greater losses received significantly lower compensation compared to others with lesser losses. Upon inquiry by the committee regarding delays and the perceived lack of fairness in the disbursement, the process, the CCM, through written submission, attributed the delays to several factors, including incomplete or inaccurate applications from beneficiaries, which necessitated back and forth clarifications prior to approval, the waiting period for cabinet approvals, and the later exchequer release. Mr. Speaker, to address these challenges, the CCM informed the committee that a fully functioning emergency committee has been established, meeting weekly to review emergencies cases and expedite decisions making to ensure urgent requests are prioritized. On the matter of fairness, the CCM stated the emergency request applications and allocation procedures are governed by the emergency fund regulations. Each case is assessed on its own merit and awards determined based on the availability of funds, supporting documentations, and the extent to loss suffered. Mr. Speaker's medical and burial assistance, the committee noted that a total of 4,402 shillings, 4,402,141 shillings was dispersed from the county emergency fund to various health facilities in support of 85 individuals who were unable to settle their medical bills. The highest amount paid on behalf of a single beneficiary was Kenya shillings 200,000, while the lowest was Kenya shillings 6,000 as tabulated below. Mr. Speaker, from page 15, 16, 17 are all tabulations, and members can go through. Report on the approval of the emergency fund expenditure on period ordered ended that 1st December 2024. Furthermore, the committee undertook a detailed scrutiny to ascertain whether the disbursement adhered to the prescribed ceilings as outlined in the schedules to the said regulations. These ceilings are priced specifically to support rendered for medical bill payments and burial assistance as stipulated below that table. There is category, there is county contributions and compensation in that tabulation. On the committee, the committees observed that all payments made towards medical and burial assistance were in compliance with the ceilings stipulated in Nyandarua County Emergency Fund regulations of 2022. Hospital bills for 7 days, vulnerable beneficiaries were settled in full with 100% of the claimed amounts paid as the request submitted by the respective beneficiaries as tabulated below. There is in the tabulation the check number, there is hospital paid, the name of hospital paid, the cost bill, ratified amount, and even the percentage in that tabulation. Some payments were significantly delayed, thereby failing to provide timely assistance to patients when it was most needed. Notably, several disbursements were made more than 60 days after the requests were submitted. These delays undermined the intended purpose of the emergency fund. The details of the delayed payments are highlighted in the table below. That says there is the check number, hospital paid, date of request, the date of payment, and even the duration that was taken. The committee observed delays in the processing of payments and sought clarification from the county executive committee member from the finance. In response, the CCM explained that similar to the case of fire tragedy interventions, the delays were occasioned by several factors. These included the submission of incomplete, erroneous applications from members, Mr. Speaker, that necessitated repeated clarification before approval, the time taken to obtain cabinet approvals, and the delayed release of funds from the exchequer. 3. Grants and subsidies. The committee observed that the total of Kenya shillings 2,269,719 was expended on the procurement of the assorted foodstuffs, blanket, mattress, and iron sheets for the distributions to vulnerable households adversely affected by floods in various parts of the county. The areas reached through these interventions included Kaibara Ward, in Kalau Ward, in Kalau Liloni, in Wanjohi Ward, Kenton Village in Magumu, and Kamagutu Village in Gadara Ward, among others. The tabulations provides a summary of the assorted items procured for distributions. Likewise, there is number 1, item described, unit of measures, quantity, unit cost, and even the total cost is on the tabulation. Mr. Speaker, there is also a report on the approval of the emergency fund expenditure for period ended 31st December 2024, explained in that tabulations below. A duly signed report of inspections and acceptance committee was provided as evidence to delivery of the above items by Simlak's general suppliers. The committee was also furnished with signed sheets of emergency items distribution. It was therefore convinced that the above payments met the thresholds of emergency fund regulations, repair and maintenance. The committees observed that 7 projects with a total value of Kenya shillings 12,557,115 shillings were implemented and financed through the county emergency fund. Mr. Speaker, there is a table below that provides the details of the said projects, including the justifications and the rationale for the consideration under the fund. Mr. Speaker, there is check number, company name, purpose for the payment of the ward, date of projects, date of the projects, common cements, and date projects completion of justification. That there is amount just at the end of that tabulation. Mr. Speaker, all that the top there is in page 21, there is a tabulation that is explaining the same. In line with the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund Regulation 2022, the ceilings were emergency interventions relating the county infrastructure is clearly defined according to these regulations as an emergency or disaster must arise from unforeseen and unavoidable. Mr. Speaker, on this approval of emergency and expenditure to period ended that 1st December 2024, there is circumstance for any intervention to qualify where these conditions is met. Mr. Speaker, the county is authorized to contribute up to 100% of the cost towards the rehabilitation of the affected infrastructure. In that regard, the committee sought clarification of the emergency nature of the intervention and whether the a prioritization framework or emergency response criteria had been applied in identifying and approving the projects. The CCM explained that the emergency status of the projects in question was established through various sources of need identified by the community and relevant field officers, as well as through cabinet memoranda and approvals. These documents were cited as justifications for prioritizing the projects as emergency interventions in accordance with the attached source of need letter, cabinet memo, and approval. There is Annexure 1. After thorough scrutiny of the documents and justifications provided, the committee made as the following observation. 1. That the pipeline laying the Gizioro at the landmark areas as intended to supply water to Kinogop Vocational Training College at the landmark trading center. However, given the extent of an established water supply system managed by the Upper Chania Water Service Provider in Jabini, use of emergency fund of this project to be inappropriate. The activity was a plan developing initiatives rather than unforeseen emergency, and as such, funding should have been drawn from the department's regularly development budget. Number 2, that the integration of Captain Kegajo Muehoti, the Kiani borehole with the existing Olkara water distribution system was a foreseeable development activity that did not qualify as an emergency. Consequently, the use of the emergency fund for the purpose was improper and inconsistent with the intent of the fund, which is served strictly for urgent and foreseen and unavoidable emergencies. Mr. Speaker, number 3, that the payment for the renovation of a toilet and consideration of the Donyo biodigester does not meet the criteria for emergency intervention as defined under Emergency Fund Regulations 2022 according to the regulations. The emergency fund is intended to address unforeseen events that cause sudden damage, loss, hardship, or suffering. In this case, the renovation of a toilet and the construction of a biodigester constitute planned infrastructure development project which is predictable and can be budgeted for under a regular development expenditure funds. Mr. Speaker, the committee observed the utilization the emergency fund for the above stated purposes amounted to the more misappropriations of funds, as it diverted limited emergency resources from this core mandate of responding to genuine emergencies such as natural disasters, accidents, or others calamities affecting lives and livelihood. In regards to this, the committee made several attempts to engage the county executive committee member, that is the CCM for finance, to seek further clarifications and accountability the matter. However, these efforts were unsuccessful due to the CCM persistence failure to honor invitation to appear before the committee. The committee expressed a deep concern over this continued non-cooperations, terming it a serious breach of accountability and a hindrance to effective legislative oversight. Mr. Speaker, number 4, there is seeking approval of the emergency funds, the expenditure. Regulation 11 of emergency fund, regulations and sections 114 blanket 1 of the Public Finance Management Act of PFMA of 2012 stipulated that the county executive committee members, that is the CCM, for finance shall seek the approval of the county assembly in writing within 2 months after any expenditure is made from the emergency funds. However, Mr. Speaker, the committee observed that the request for the approval relating to the period 1st July to 1 December 2024 was only submitted on 11th April 2025, well beyond the legally prescribed time frame. Mr. Speaker, this delay is not an isolated case. The committee noted with concern that similar to non-compliance has been witnessed in previous financial years, despite resolutions of this honorable House consistently calling for strict adherence to the law, such as repeated disregard for statutory timelines undermines the principles of accountability and timely oversight. We have the recommendation as the committee. Mr. Speaker, from the finding the observation made, the committees recommended the following: that the county executive committee member for finance shall henceforth seek approval of emergency fund expenditure within the legally prescribed time frame, failure to which sanctions shall be imposed on the non-compliance. Number 2, that the county executive committee member for finance shall strengthen internal controls and establish clear emergency spending procedures aligned to the Public Finance Management Act of 2012 to avoid expending outside the approved framework. Number 3, that the Fund Management Committee shall develop and enforce clear prioritization and approval framework for emergency interventions in line with the Nyandarua County Emergency Fund Regulations 2022 to prevent arbitrary or unauthorized expenditure in future. Number 4, that henceforth the County Emergency Executive Committee members for the finance shall ensure urgent consideration, approval, where applicable, disbursement of financial requests within 14 days to enhance efficiency and responsiveness to the approved emergency. Number 5, that the county emergency executive committee member for finance shall within 60 days undertake a comprehensive review of the emergency fund regulations to include additional parameters, provides for the payments of chief contribution in place of direct medical bill settlements, and revise the compensation ceiling to more accurately reflect the actual needs and losses incurred by beneficiaries. Lastly, and number 6, Mr. Speaker, that the House hereby ratifies the expenditure incurred under the emergency fund during the periods under review, with the exception of Kenya shillings 2,615,580 shillings utilized for the pipeline laying in the Githioro and landmark areas. Kenya shillings 3,199,890 shillings spent on the integration of Captain Kigajo, Mwihoti, and Kiani Bahur with the existing Olkalau water distribution system, and 2,499,919 spent on the renovation of toilet and construction of Donyojeru biodigester. Conclusion. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, the report emphasizes the crucial role played by the County Emergency Fund in responding to urgent situations within Nyandarua County. It underscores the need for the strict compliance with existing regulations and timely execution of approved interventions. Going forward, sustained oversight and commitment to established procedures will be key to the managing emergency effectiveness and protecting the welfare of the county emergency fund. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I urge Joyce Monywa to be my seconder.
Thank you, Honorable Joyce.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From the onset, I stand to second the report, and I thank the committee, whichever member, for the detailed report, and maybe to insist on the need for the department to really ensure that the recommendations as stipulated are clearly adhered to, because as has been said, most of these recommendations we have been giving over at least the span of the 3 years. And mostly I wish to especially emphasize on the legal requirements that 2 months after the report has been, the expenditure has been cut under emergency, there is the requirement to submit the expenditures for approval. This has not been happening over the years. And we have also noted that most of the development expenditure, especially under the repairs and maintenance categories, are expenditures that can clearly be seen they are foreseeable and should be budgeted, not wait until to be charged under the emergency fund. So I support and request that the department need to really adhere to these recommendations. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Joyce. I now propose a question, which is that this House does adopt the report of the Committee on Special Funds Accounts on the request for approval of spending from the Emergency Fund in the first half of the financial year 2024-2025 as a report of the House and the recommendations therein as the resolution of the House. Definitely. Honorable Doyen, Honorable Kayeni, that is.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. I saw the Deputy Speaker had the intention to make a contribution. Given the rules of the House, he stands a better chance before me on the ranking in terms of leadership. Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, for the Speaker's eye. Honorable Speaker, mine are just very few comments because the progressive report did come to the floor of the House, and we had an opportunity to indulge on it. My submissions and comment then still hold that whereas I support the work done by the committee, if I may begin, and the way the report has been disseminated in the House in a detailed manner by the able chair, I want to thank the committee for doing quite a good job. And for being able to bring out a report in its details to an extent, you know, the agri, if I may say, details of the emergency fund utilization, they have not shied away from making them known to all of us. My point is this, Honorable Speaker. Would have expected the committee to tell us what entails an emergency, for the fund to be utilized for the very purpose of it being an emergency. Honorable Speaker,
in the future. And therefore, the magnitude of the tragedies or disasters that may require emergency attention in the future. Mr. Speaker, it is very important for the House to note that this is money available, this is funds that are, and therefore if proper oversight is not done, this money or this fund could be exposed and subject to abuse. Of note, that one we are discussing in the committee, and will seek facilitation why the money that was spent outside the threshold of emergency, why was it spent, and what happens when it is spent outside the regulations. Mr. Speaker, this is a serious, and individuals in this county recover from losses that are unseen, that are unforeseen. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, an item should be facilitated with the emergency budget. Where did their money go? Or why are they to be so special to be accorded extra funds from the emergency fund while others don't get? Once I'm not satisfied with the reprise I'm waiting from the CECM finance of a fire tragedy that happened in the same period and was never compensated, despite the fact that we took all the required documentations to warrant this affected victim to be compensated as required by the regulations. Mr. Speaker, this is a very serious report that this committee, which I am a member, has brought to the House, and I implore on the members that we adopt it. Once we adopt it, then the necessary actions be taken. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. Yes, you can call the mover, probably.
Point of information, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, what is the information, Honorable?
Thank you. It is information to the House. Honorable Speaker, I was listening keenly to what the Deputy Speaker did say. And the information I'm seeking from you, the Chair, given the magnitude of the submissions from the Deputy Speaker, who is a member of the committee on special
Honorable members, I now put the question, which is that this House does the resolution of the House Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness has appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you've committed to our charge. Amen. Thank you. Honorable members, welcome to the sitting of today. That is Tuesday, the 11th day of November 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Clerk confirmed that we have the requisite quorum to transact today's business.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the House is not quorate.
There being no quorum to commence the business of the day, I direct that pursuant to Standing Order 36, the quorum bear be run for an initial 10 minutes or until such a time that the quorum shall be achieved.
Mr. Speaker, sir, the expiration of the initial 10 minutes, the House is still not quorate.
There being no quorum and the expiry of the initial 10 minutes, I direct that pursuant to Standing Order 36, the quorum bell be rung for a further 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, sir, at the expiration of the additional 5 minutes, the House is still not quorate.
There being no quorum at the expiration of the initial 10 minutes, I direct the person to study order 36. Apologies. There being no quorum to commence the business of the day, I hereby adjourn the House to 12th, that is tomorrow, to 12th day of November 2025 at 9:30 a.m.
The home stretch to Lake Obolsat, Nyandarua County, is an uneventful 7-kilometer access road of red ground. As the vehicle rambles and grinds the post ground, dancing dervish of dust swells temporarily blocking the scorching sun. The road curves and bends its way through tranquil village homes nestled on large tracts of land. Not a single signage to the only highland lake in Kenya is to be seen, save for those put by hotels along its shores. Without preamble, you find yourself driving across an endless swath of sun-baked vegetation, free land, the Lake Obolsat. Men with hoes and spades are busy stripping off the top layer of a biodeposit, unfazed by the lake's misfortune, or perhaps trying to salvage a calamitous situation. After all, there exists an adage around here, loosely translated, that even when a house is burning, the owner may enjoy its warmth. The recession and eventual disappearance of the water-filled area has exposed the former lake bottom, covered by a biodeposit-rich crust, which presents a potent and affordable organic alternative to commercial fertilizers. The farmers hold their spoil on their backs, motorbikes, and for the bolder ones, lorries. Despite its relatively small size, 152 square kilometers, Lake Obolsat is hailed for its rich biodiversity of hippos and over 300 species of water birds, earning itself the 61st position as an important bird area in 2017. In a survey conducted in Kenya in 2017, Lake Obolsat had the highest population in the endangered grey-crowned cranes, estimated at 286 individuals. Due to its proximity to the Great Rift Valley, the lake forms one of Kenya's important migration flyways, offering a suitable feeding and resting point for the birds, in addition to providing a wintering ground for the Palearctic migrants. Other key bird species recorded in the lake include the glossy ibis, the globally threatened Sharp's longclaw, the East Jackson's widowbird, the regionally threatened long-tailed widowbird, and the great crested crib, among others. Birds act as bioindicators on health of an ecosystem. Today, all we see is a squadron of crestfallen grey-crowned cranes huddled on a patch of wet earth, perhaps mourning the death of their mates and the impending loss of their home. Carcasses of wildlife and derelict boats pepper the lake bed, conjuring forth memories of the vibrant flora and fauna and thriving socio-economic activities that once characterized the lake. A cloud of dust heralds the unabashed arrival of a flock of cows, sheep and goats in the protected wetland, shepherded by three-framed, kanga-wrapped herders from as far as Laikipia and Samburu counties in search of pasture and water. They are lucky to find a semblance of pasture in the once lush rushes and reeds, now a mere patch, left over by balers. An ever-shifting mirage creates a false illusion of water pools, enticing the cattle and their herders to venture deeper and deeper into the lake bed under the unforgiving sun, their lethargic hooves creating a solemn tune of utter helplessness. Fortunately for the locals, some hotel owners have drilled boreholes and created an oasis of hope of life featuring succulent acacia trees overhanging with nets of internally displaced weaverbirds, a painfully jarring juxtaposition of the now barren lake. From here, the community waters its animals and gets water for domestic use. Overlooking the parched lake bed are brown rolling hills, speckled with burnt patches and plowed lands ready for planting. Their owners reside at the base of the hills. Some are bona fide owners with legitimate land ownership documents and have lived there since 1974. Others have encroached into the riparian area, while others have bluntly grabbed parts of the protected area. This is in spite of the then National Lands Commission Chairman Mohamed Swazuri declaration during the 2018 World Wetlands Day celebrations, observed at the shores of Lake Olbolosat, that upon gazettement of the lake as a protected wetland, effective 24th January 2018, all title deeds would stand dissolved in accordance with sections 10, 11, and 12 of Lands Act 2012. Politically speaking, relocating settlers from a place they have called home for decades is not a walk in the park. It calls for sacrifice and courage. Leaders have lost elective positions trying to evict people living in water towers of our country in the name of conservation. Nonetheless, when push comes to shove, someone has to, figuratively speaking, bail the cat.
Sometimes I understand that people feel like it is not worth politically to remove people from where they are living, considering the politician, of course, you might suffer politically. But you should the government should realize that some times ago, there were the same issue that were happening in Aberdare Forest, and they had no other option for them to be able to save Aberdare Forest. They relocated people from the forest.
Because there is an issue of encroachment of this lake. And I can tell you, these people you are seeing here, they have genuine titles. Who gave them the titles? So they need to tell us who is this who was so careless to allocate land to people to innocent wananchi, and they have their genuine titles. So you can't tell us that they are encroaching. How are they encroaching? And you gave them title. They are rightfully there. But however, we need to map this area that has remained. It's about 4 kilometers and that 8 along stretch. So if they demarcate this area that initially had water, we are comfortable. This is good enough.
If you are in the lake unofficially, then there is no question of discussion. You are evacuated directly. This wetland have to be protected. If you read from here up to Rolian Swamp, these people down Laikipia, Samburu, up to Rolian Swamp, they rely on this. It is a complete ecosystem.
Yeah, it's possible in collaboration with the national government. It happened in Mau. It happened in Mau, isn't it? Yeah. But the only thing is that it has to be done in a human way, whereby, because these people, they have genuine title deed. They are resettled elsewhere. Yeah, so it is possible.
When our team toured the lake, it found that among the people directly affected by the drying up of the lake are bird guides, hoteliers with businesses around the lake, and the local community. With our binoculars, bird guide Amina Njoki scans around the wetland. No bird in sight. The former County Executive Committee member in Nyandarua County Government, now the MCA for Create Award, Honorable Wanjiru Dirango, could not contain her disappointment.
We are here because we are experiencing a very, very sad situation about drying of the lake Oborosat. Many years, this lake has been a source of livelihood to many people who are surrounding the lake, including the 7 wards of Nyandarua County. I am one beneficiary of this lake because I get the water from this lake from a spring called Kamokonga Spring. However, we are at the verge of not getting that water because where we are standing used to be the lake, but as you can see, it's just dry silt, and I can cross over to the other side. A sad situation in this county. And at our age, it's really sad when we see such an important resource drying up and no one is even taking action. We are shouting at the loudest of our voices that we need to be heard as people of Nyandarua, that we need to conserve this lake so that we save the livelihoods downstream.
On 8th March 2023, the MCA brought a motion into the Assembly seeking approval of the House to petition the Senate with a view of having Lake Bolsat gazetted and the Wildlife Conservation and Management Act of 2013 as a national reserve under the county government of Nyandarua. She reckoned that this move would boost conservation efforts, address issues of human-wildlife conflict, create jobs, and enhance revenue collection.
Madam Speaker, I beg to